You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's The Great Escape After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's The Great Escape After Show.
Yes, it is. Bing is for doing, and we're here doing another Great Escape After Show. Of course, for Season 1, Episode 7, called Escape from a Power Station.
Escape indeed.
I am, of course, your host, Phil Svitek, joined alongside the one and only.
Hello, everyone. Marisa Serafini here.
Yes, no Matt Fondelier this week. He is on vacation, but he will be back shortly, hopefully next week. Anyway, well, we did something a little bit different tonight, and we kind of chose up front the people who we thought to win, and that actually made the viewing experience a lot more enjoyable. So
I agree. We were getting really competitive
we were
watching this. It felt like we were in the game.
Yes, it did. So none of us picked the red team. What was your overall thoughts on the red team, and I guess why you also didn't choose them?
Well, first of all, we're on episode 7, and every time we've seen like a girl, like 2 female pairings, they've never won. So
But didn't you want a female pairing to win finally?
I do want a female pairing to win, but first seeing them in the red team, Crescent and Natalie, they're friends, they're neighbors, but I didn't think they had it, and I wasn't for them. No.
Yeah, for me, I just don't know how strong a bond neighbors are. I mean, if you like the Real Housewives, I guess, but they are also want to backstab each other, so I don't know. But I didn't pick them either.
I'd like a female pairing to win eventually, but I don't think it was going to happen tonight either, so hopefully in the future.
You picked the blue team.
I did pick the blue
brothers.
Team. Lee and Matt. I picked them. They were very serious, very stoic, and throughout the whole thing, they were very discouraging to each other. I was like, oh, wow, geez. Not helpful. Not helpful.
All right. But so what made you pick them initially? Was it just...
I thought they're serious up front. They had their game face on, and they were in it to win it, and I picked them. Why did you pick your team?
I don't know. You know, I always get a lot of grief over who I choose because I don't always choose the winners. But I went with Jessica and Greg. I just felt something about them. You know, they're a married couple. Usually married couples don't do quite well. You know, I think they have a slightly higher percentage maybe than a female duo. But I just felt like, you know, whereas the blue team was too cocky, and I've seen in the past the cocky team never wins. And so I was like, all right, they probably aren't going to win.
Okay.
And that's what kind of gave it away for me. And there was just a genuineness to Jessica and Greg that I was like, I believed in them.
Okay.
So.
I like the fact that Greg said up front that he was afraid of heights, and I'm like, oh boy, how is this going to help him?
It wasn't going to help him, but
tall stories that they have to climb.
By the way, you know, Escape from a Power Plant for another episode during the day, which is fun.
Yes.
And I thought a fun place to escape from.
Yeah.
Really good stages. Like we'll get into it specifically, but just overall, I liked all the stages. I thought everyone was clever. All of them. They weren't they were challenging, but not too challenging. You know what I mean? I don't know. It was just the right combination of all things coming together in every single challenge.
I feel
stage.
like each stage, this whole episode was mostly about physical.
Yeah, but it was also mental.
Physical. There was a little bit of mental. I think
Really?
it was more about the physical.
How about putting the? Yeah, we'll get into it again more specifically, but putting the cables together, and then memorizing the pieces like
Yeah,
that.
but that was it. Everything else was more of a physical type of challenge.
You're out of your mind. Okay, so so making sure water flows through pipes the correct way, that's physical? That's not physical, that's mental.
Okay. Maybe there was a good balance.
Yeah.
Throughout watching this episode, I felt like all of them were struggling physically.
Well, we'll talk about why that was. All right, let's talk about the attainment zone and the cooling grids.
Yes, cooling tanks above the turbines. They were all drilled. Like, the bindings were all drilled to each other.
Yeah.
But the way they could escape was really easy. They found a tool that helped, get their handcuffs off really fast.
I would have liked a little bit more. Again, I go back to the first, Alcatraz was a great example of a good detainment zone. There was a lot of figuring out, first the key and then the map. But what really separated all the teams was, okay, as soon as they got out, they had to find the map, and that's really where everyone just struggled.
Yes. And the map was under that danger tape on one of the turbine things.
Yes. But did you hear the reasoning when the blue team got theirs? Did you hear the reasoning? This is where I actually give them credit.
Oh, one of the blue guys, he said that, why is this tape here? It was out of place. And
why is there a hazard thing on a turbine? No one's going to be looking at it. You know what I mean? If you're up there, you're
That's true. I wouldn't have thought of that. So, yeah, props
You would usually... No, because the point is you would see the hazard sign before you got into the hazardous zone.
Yeah.
So, so this is where the blue team was actually smart. They got it, and then the green and red team struggled for a little bit. So hey, this is where all the things went wrong for the blue team.
Yes, the blue team completely missed and skipped stage 1 and went into the stage 2 area.
And what's
Totally lost.
frustrating is it was their own stupidity that caused this. They were very smart in how they picked up on the map, and then the grit. They understood. Okay, wait, we just have to move these, and they figured that out from what it seemed fairly quick. They didn't get caught, which was a smart move. So they were showing a lot of signs of, okay, you know what, Phil, let me rethink who you pick. Obviously, I'm glad I picked the green team, but
okay.
I'll give your team credit where credit is due in the beginning.
I want to thank you. The thing I had to point out about the green team was that they acted like everything was the end of the world. When the blue team first got out to stage 1 first, and the game's still kind of fairly new, they just started. They're like, oh my god, we're so behind, and people were falling behind, and I was like, it's only stage 1, come on.
Yeah, but that's the right attitude to have. And I just felt with the green team, they were going to be slow and steady. They're going to be the tortoise, whereas the blue team was always going to be the hare. Okay. And, and that's the right... You want to have that mentality of, like, they are ahead. Now, you obviously don't want that... you have to have a calmness to you to understand, okay, they are ahead. How do we get out of this? We can't panic, because panicking is not going to help the situation. And then they eventually found it and moved on. And then they started... Once they found the map, they started to find their footing. And ironically, if you look at the whole of the competition, the fact that they got caught so many times and the blue team didn't once...
No, the blue team was the only team that didn't get caught.
And yet they lost.
Yeah.
That says a lot about the mistakes that the blue team did make. Yes. Which let's talk about stage 1.
Stage 1. The furnace ducts. They have to find a tool and open the ducts then go into this whole crawl space kind of type of area, but it leads open to this big room. But the thing that I thought was interesting was the door they had to open. It was fairly small, and it was just big enough to fit everyone.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah, how big? What do you need? This isn't like
it was only like a 3x3 kind of square. I was like, they were lucky enough they fit through it.
This isn't the grand entrance to the palace.
Well, I was just surprised how small it was.
All right. Well, I was surprised how the blue team just completely. If they only took a little bit more time in reading the map, and you know what? As much as I got mad at the green team, which we'll talk about later on with the map, they stuck to the map. They understood the importance of the map, whereas the blue team just didn't. They completely skipped over that, and then it just was a comedy of errors where I thought they were going to electrocute themselves in stage 2 because they had no.
Because they really just skimmed the map. They didn't read it full on. They just like, okay, we do this, 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 and they didn't really read it carefully.
Which they did later on, and then they realized the error of their ways, and. This was the smart play by the green team. Maybe it's luck or whatever you would want to call it, where they come in and they see how to get into this room.
Mm-hmm.
Because then, all right, that puts them on an equal footing. And I mean, they literally admitted it as soon as they're coming down the ladder. Oh, there's the blue team. I see them opening this damn door. We gotta do the same thing.
Yeah, I know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that goes back to you saying a couple of weeks ago where if one team, saw each other doing like the exact things that they need to be doing, it would help them be more advantageous. And it was exactly that kind of thing happened tonight. The green team saw the blue, and they didn't even really have to, stop and read. They just like, okay, the blue team is doing it, let's do it.
Yeah. So that did work to their advantage, and then they were very, very neck and neck. The thing that frustrated me with all the teams really is you have a backpack. Everyone carried their backpack in the most awkward way, and secondly, why wouldn't you put the items into the backpack?
Yeah, they didn't really utilize it very well.
There's a reason why you have a backpack. And it's not just a backpack. It's the brand name is Kelty, but it's like a frame pack, meaning it's large. It's supposed to carry big items. Utilize it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's just a pet peeve of mine.
Well,
and especially that was a lot of damn cables.
Yeah, and they looked heavy too, and they were long, and they were just like carrying them, dragging, and running with them. Oh man.
All right,
But if you need to buy backpacks, you know where you can get them, Phil?
I don't know. Why don't you tell me?
I'm sure you could probably buy them on Amazon.
I'm sure I could. And now, for those of you listening who have been loyal fans, I know what you're thinking. All right, another damn Amazon plug. But tell us why it's important that people listen to this and follow through.
Yes. Well, before you go shopping on Amazon, you should go to AfterBuzzTV.com, and there you'll see a banner at the top. You click that, and that'll take you straight to your normal Amazon. But the cool thing about it is that we here at AfterBuzz, we get a kickback. It keeps all the lights on, it keeps Phil, myself engineering all these awesome shows for you, and keeps us talking about The Great Escape, and keeps you from getting free content.
Now, for those of you quote haters out there in the world that say, oh, we do too much of the Amazon plug, guess what? We could not do the Amazon plug, and we could charge you for this content, which I know you want to listen to. We choose, and we've committed to the fact that we never will charge you. So with the Amazon program, you're literally still getting what you want because you wanted whatever Amazon item you were going to get anyway. Now it's just a quick alternate step where you go to AfterBuzzTV.com, click that Amazon banner, and shop away. So thank you for doing that. For those of you who have and continue to support us, thank you so much, and we will continue at a free price to you.
Yes.
Free's good.
It's a win, win, win situation, like you say.
There you go.
You win, Amazon win, we win.
Yes. But the red team does not win. Nor the blue
No.
team.
Nor the blue
Green team, maybe. So let's talk about the safe boxes. I thought again, I just really liked these challenges. I thought they were clever, and you know, each of the cables was a different length, and you had to utilize that. I didn't get it when they first explained it, but as soon as they were doing it, it was cool. It was fun.
Yeah, I thought it was a good concept. I think since the blue team completely skipped stage 1 and they were already in the stage 2 area, they had the chance to scope around the area and get a feel of what they were supposed to do before they backtracked to stage 1.
But the problem is they weren't looking for that one here's the thing, when you're in those situations, you have blinders on, and so I don't feel like they weren't scoping out that wasn't their mission. Just because they skipped over stage 1 doesn't change the fact that their mission was to do something in there, rather than like, oh, let's take a look around. Oh, this is cool. Okay, got the safe boxes here. Oh, okay, and this doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Here's what I think won it for the green team, was the fact that they measured the ropes first. And that was Jessica who said that, so kudos to her for being smart. Whereas the blue team, they might have a strategy, but I forget who it was. Was it Matt? He just didn't know how to hook up the cables.
Yeah, they were just having a hard time like putting it together.
They were getting quite mad. That was fun to see.
Yeah, they were yelling at each other. I figured, you know what, the blue and the green team, they were both very discouraging. They were harping on each other. There was a lot of F-bombs in this episode tonight. It was like, beep this and beep that. Oh, man, it was pretty fun to listen to.
Yeah, but it was. But with the green team, I feel like, okay, they were doing it to accomplish a goal, whereas, like, the blue team were just really getting on each other. I don't know. There's that slight, subtle difference, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. I think it does.
I think it's so, too, yeah.
But I will say I think that's the reason the green team got it was because they measured the lines first and were able to figure it out. And, again, they were smart about it. They took, you know, again, the wife, I give her a lot of credit because Greg wanted to leave, and she's like, no, get the sledgehammer, get the goggles, like, go, go, go. Oh, and we have to memorize this diamond.
Yes, and that helped them because the blue team didn't memorize the diamond, and they didn't. I don't think they mentioned that they didn't read the map, and they were supposed to memorize it, and they didn't.
Yeah, the map said specifically that. I think it stemmed from the fact that they were caught up at that point, and so for the blue team, they're like, shoot, we already messed up. Now we have to make up for that, and you know, there's many phrases for it, but it's being like, you know, penny saving, dollar foolish. You know, they're protected, you know, and so again, they were trying to gain seconds when, you know what, you really lost minutes because you didn't do that.
Yeah, something as simple as that. Memorizing 4 colors.
Yes.
In order.
And I love the competition between the blue and the green team with the guards. That was fun to see.
Yeah, because they were literally right next to each other, and then the green team gets caught. And the blue team doesn't. I
still want to see the team that causes the most ruckus or whatever is being quote the stupid one of the group to not get caught and get the more cautious team caught, because that would be fun to see.
You know, that would be fun to see. I think it would bring more entertainment. Maybe there's like an agreement that they have to abide to at the beginning of the game. They're like, if you get caught, you can't point out where the other team is.
No, but it wouldn't be pointing out. Whereas, you know, this happened on 1 or 2 episodes ago, where, you know, one team, it'd be the equivalent of, like, let's say I'm climbing down the ladder and my backpack falls, right, and it makes a noise. Now, you know, me and my team could climb back up, but on the ground is the other team where the backpack fell, and just by that default, you guys are caught.
Get caught.
Clearly that doesn't happen, and this is where it could have been bad for the green team because this was their second time getting caught.
Yep.
So I was like, shoot, how are they gonna pull through? And you know, so now I want to get your take on this. it seemed like the blue team had a lot of focus on where the guards were. And that became a worry for me, especially towards the end, because it was like, okay, you're way too worried about where the guards are versus what you need to be accomplishing.
Okay. I like the fact that they were very aware of the guards' presence because they didn't get caught. And they were constantly looking for them. So it did help them on that. They didn't lose more time being, sent back to detainment.
But again, did that take away their focus off of the other things? Like, if you look at it, the green team got caught twice, the blue team didn't, and yet the green team won.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, it didn't come down to how many times you got caught by the guards. Sometimes it does. But again, I think the blue team just prioritized badly in all situations.
Yeah, I don't think the guards were a big factor for them. Like, yeah, they were looking for them, but it wasn't the thing that really made them lose the game. I think they just got distracted by not finishing or reading the map correctly and just not working well in their endeavors.
Yes. So let's talk about stage 3 with the blue team. Talk about your amazing team that you picked.
Yeah. All right, stage 3, the Cinder Block Powerhouse. Because they didn't read the map, and because they didn't memorize the 4 colors in order, they get to the cinder blocks, and there are 3 different types of blocks, building things that they have to knock down. But they have to find the correct one that has the correct order of the colors. And of course, lo and behold, they pick the wrong one because they didn't memorize the colors.
Well, let me ask you this. Was it, because there's obviously the different houses. So is it just one wall is easier to break and then the 3 walls are hard?
There was, that was it.
Okay.
Yeah. And they picked one of the houses that was difficult to break.
No, I don't think it's about the houses. I think it's about the individual walls of the houses.
Okay.
No, because you can have the diamond shape in 4 different ways, right? That being each of the walls. Therefore, 3 of the walls of that will be hard to break. Only one wall will be easy. Because at the end of the day, the pattern for all teams is going to be the same. They're not going to change that.
Okay.
And yeah, they clearly didn't pick the right wall. Now, when the green team came in, what should have happened was, I love how they looked at this guy, and here's Greg. They're like, that guy? What? No way he's that strong. They must have. But they were smart enough to understand that he's cracking through an easier wall to crack. Mm-hmm. But then they didn't look it upon themselves. They're like, wait,
let's try
maybe
a different wall.
Yes. And, what's the harm in that? Okay, you try once. All right, it didn't work. You try again, it didn't work. Maybe you try the 3rd time, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, okay, then you just go back to your stupid hard wall, and they just got luck. I don't know. But you should try.
I agree. They should have tried every wall, and it might have helped them, and they exerted way too much energy and time breaking down those darn cinder blocks.
I agree. And again, it's not a thought that goes to you right away, but as soon as they saw the green team, which again, the green team used them to figure out the ducks.
Yeah.
Well, now reverse it. Use it against them. But I just love how they looked up to Greg. It was like this macho guy. Like,
yeah, that was pretty funny. They're like, how did he get it so fast?
But hey, kudos. I mean, I'm glad to know that they're that strong to be able to break that.
Right.
I don't know if they switched off or whatever, but regardless, even if they did, that took a lot of effort because you have to break. As you saw, you have to break quite a significant portion of the wall to be able to get in.
Yeah, just to squeeze, you have to squeeze their whole body through to get inside. So a good amount.
Yes. Before we move on and before we talk about iTunes, let's just check in with the red team.
Gosh.
They're you know what? I'll say this about them. I give them credit. They kept going at it, and for every mistake they made, I didn't think they made too many mistakes. They just couldn't figure out certain things, and that's what really broke it in the end. But at least they did try, and
they made some mistakes here and there. Like, they didn't get all the cables in stage 1.
That's true. That was a mistake.
So they had to go back, and then they weren't really part of the game, really.
Note to you, Marissa, if you and I do this thing, I don't care, like, if whatever thing or box we open, if we went into the duck, and there's literally, like, I'll have you pick up all the dust that's there, and we're going to take it with us, just to be safe, all right? Like, that's, never are we ever saying, like, oh, you know what? We only need this looks like a good amount of cables.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, they're probably there.
Take everything.
They're probably there for a reason, and you're right. The red team did make that mistake, and you know what? I'm going to call them out on it because that, again, were they going to win? Probably not.
No.
But still a costly mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? Going back to the cooling grid, one of the girls, I apologize for not knowing which one. They checked all of the quote hazard signs, but they didn't know that it was rippable. Yeah. And that did cost them. Yeah,
they spent too much time finding the map, and then they had to go back for the cables. They wasted too much time on something that should have been really easy. Fairly.
Well, not fair, but you just need to calm down, open your eyes, and just relax. Mm-hmm. So, anyway, that was our check-in with the red team. Now let's check in with iTunes. Marissa, talk about iTunes. Well, and no, do not zone out, people. It is important.
No. iTunes. Well, we love bringing you free content. So if you go to iTunes, search AfterBuzz TV and look up The Great Escape, you can download our podcast for free. And from there, you can also rate and comment. You can give us 5 stars. You can tell us we're doing good. You can tell us we're doing bad. We love to hear everything. So rate, comment, tell a friend. It only takes a minute right there on iTunes, and download our The Great Escape.
And the reason it helps is it just helps our positioning with iTunes. It makes it more visible to unknown fans, and we like that. That's, again, it just really, really helps us, and it's the least that you can do. So, and we really do appreciate it. So thank you guys for taking the time to do so. I know a few of you guys have. So.
Yeah, a lot of people are listening because The Great Escape has been on the top 10 a couple times. So.
Yeah, we're pretty popular.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good. And that's all thanks to you guys who are listening and rating and commenting.
Damn right. And Matt Fondlier will be back. He had a fun time. He's just over in Mexico. And we may have other guests. And we actually we're in talks with talking to last week's winners, the Los Angeles father-son pair. We're going to try to get them on the show.
Ah, cool. Fun.
And we had a nice conversation over email. I can't reveal what they said because, it could be sensitive. But I found out some cool stuff. So, I'll just share it. Actually, no, I won't. Anyway, so yes, we're in talks with them, so hopefully we'll have them on the show. All right, let's talk about the water tanks, the 4th and final stage of the Great Escape.
Water tanks. Well, the green team gets there first, and this is where they have to turn on all those faucets and stuff to build enough pressure to get that one red tubey thingy. What's it called?
The key.
The key.
Well, inside was the key.
Yeah. So they have to turn on the faucet to get enough pressure so the red tube can fall into the big water, all the water there. And then they also have to go into the tank and actually swim down to the bottom and get the package that had the zip lining tools stuff.
What was fun maybe it's just me, but I really liked science. Like this was like 6th grade science project. Like how do we figure out the piping to get to this?
Mm-hmm.
And again, just a very, very fun puzzle to do.
I thought it was neat. It's something we definitely haven't seen, and yeah, I admit I would probably get really confused at this point. Like, turn this faucet, turn that one to get the right amount.
Well, that's why you had Greg. Greg actually, you know, the wife was doing a lot of the actual bulk of the work, and then Greg had the chance to kind of step back and see it all, and he understood the point of like, okay, he understood like where the flow needed to happen, you know, and he what I will give him credit for, at least from the way they edited, he was able to see, okay, you know, we're going in the right direction. Like, okay, yeah, we may have water spilling here. That's okay. That means we have water coming all the way to here. Now we just have to adjust at this place, and this place.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then the blue team catches up with them.
Yeah, but they forgot their blue team, just comedy of errors.
Yeah, blue team, yeah, they were starting to really disappoint me at this point. But, so the green team get all their stuff first, and they start ziplining.
Hold on.
So.
we had the part about the blue or the green team. I'm sorry, the key didn't go all the way through, and you know, credit to Jessica. She hauled ass down there, and B, she got it done very, very fast.
Yes, good for her.
You know, she's like, okay, I see the problem. Boom, got it. So credit to her.
Mhm. Okay. Yes. Sorry for skipping over.
And you know, I joked about this, but they also the green team found the blue team's box underwater, and I was just joking, like, just throw it over. That would have been fun to see, but obviously
throw it out of the tank. That'd be so mean.
Yeah, I don't think they obviously couldn't do that, but it'd be funny. So yes, let's get on to ziplining.
All right, so the green team, they first have to crawl up 10 stories onto the gravity tower and zipline down to the ground. And the funny thing I mentioned, like in my notes, was that when they were ziplining, Greg was like, "This is for my kids," and like, both of them, Greg and Jessica, when they were ziplining, they were like, "Woo, woo!" They were just making all this fun noise, like had no care in the world that the guards might actually hear them or something. It was so funny.
I feel like at that point, though, when you're close by the transport zone, I mean, I don't know if they would know this, but there's just no guards at that point.
Yeah. I think they had to get through the first stages and then forget about the guards.
I liked how it discouraged the blue team, though. They were like, oh, did they win?
Right. Because they mentioned that they heard the blue team make all this noise, and they're like, oh, they're doing something. We have to catch up.
Yeah.
And then, so the blue team, they get their stuff out of the water tank, and they're climbing up 10 stories, and they zip line down, and they're also making a lot of noise.
Yeah, but again, it's fun. I mean,
it was fun listening to, yes, but I'm like, shh, guards might hear you.
Again, I don't know if they would know, but at that point, yeah, there's no guards.
Yeah.
And again, I loved how I think this has been the most close one we've seen.
Yeah.
And
throughout the whole thing, the blue and green team were really neck and neck throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, and I love how the blue team actually figured out their piece. The fact that they had to put together the piece in order to figure out where the destination was. Mm-hmm. And the green team didn't.
Yeah, because they didn't even have their key assembled at all.
Yeah, but the point is, the blue team, yeah, they had a lot of great things, but they made the mistake of they read it wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did.
You know?
they're driving around wrong areas on the map. And so did the green team. The green team had a hard time.
The green team had a hard time, but again, because but again, they didn't know what they were going for. You know, they were trying, and they didn't have their thing assembled. Whereas, ironically, the blue team, they always kind of knew what should be happening, right? And yet, they didn't know the full specifics, and the specifics they got wrong, you know?
Yeah, and then once the green team assembled the key, they had it correctly. And they get to Rich.
Yes.
I know. Yes. So you were happy.
I was quite happy because my team won.
And I was upset because my team lost.
And you know what? Again, I like it because it's a team that you didn't expect. And you know what? I'll put you on par with probably the rest of the viewers of this show. I don't think many people expected Jessica and Greg to win. I'm sure many people thought the brothers would win, but they didn't. No. So I'm glad about that. Anyway.
Yes.
Another great episode done.
But I liked the ending where the brothers, although they were like constantly cursing at each other throughout the whole thing, at the end they're like, "I love you, bro. I love you."
Yeah, at least they have each other.
Yeah, you love them now.
At least they have each other. But when are we going to...
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, so next week we are escaping from the swamp.
Ugh. Well, you know that's going to be dirty.
Yeah, but it could also be very, very fun.
Oh, yeah. Of course it's going to be fun. I should hope it's fun.
Unfortunately, they didn't really show like what teams would be winning. But it looks good.
Yeah, sounds interesting.
Swamp. It should be swamp at night, though, not swamp during the day.
Yeah.
Like, it should be scary and yucky.
Like, filled with mosquitoes and all these unwanted insects and stuff. Yeah.
And snakes.
I hope it'd be at night.
It'd be fun. Like, all right, now you really got to escape.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So where do you think they should escape from?
You know, I don't know. I think a moving airplane.
Ooh. Okay. That'd be fun. And they'd have to, parachute out at the end?
Like, it would have to be like a Sky Captain type of airplane.
Okay.
You know, where, like, one that houses airplanes within it.
Kind of like the Jodie Foster movie. What's it called? Oh, shoot.
How about, like, Sky Captain?
Like Flight Plan or something like that.
How about, like, Sky Captain?
Okay.
I've heard of Sky Captain?
I've heard of that movie. I haven't seen it.
All right, well, it's like Sky Captain, like Sky Captain.
Okay.
What about you?
Well, you know, I was just recently in San Diego, and I learned about all the naval force down there, and so kind of going off of the USS one a few weeks ago, I'd kind of like to see them navigate the naval force base.
All right.
That'd be cool.
Well, of course, you could try to escape from AfterBuzz TV, but why would you want to? So, we'll of course be back next week.
Different engineers and engineer booths, screening rooms. That'd be fun.
Yes, but why would you want to? So, don't escape. Come back next time. Next week we'll certainly be here, as there's a new episode, and we'll certainly be talking about it. So, thank you guys. See you next week.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.